Okay, good morning, and thank you for joining us for this special edition of the Security Middle East webinars. My name is Daniel Norman, and I will be your moderator for today. I'm joined by a stellar panel of representatives from Eagle Eye Networks and SALTO Systems to discover how they're delivering a state-of-the-art cloud video surveillance and cloud access control solution in one. And we're all very excited to highlight the integration and demonstrate the benefits and capabilities it presents. However, before we begin, I'd like to give a brief introduction to our speakers. So firstly, from Eagle Eye, we have Hadi Rayess, who is the Middle East and Africa Sales Director. Hadi has had significant years of experience in strategic account management, especially across video surveillance and AI. He's worked in a number of regions, but particularly the Middle East, and has generated massive growth for startups and other organizations, especially across the surveillance industry. And our next speaker is Victor Hage, who is the General Manager of Middle East and Africa for SALTO Systems. He has, again, significant experience in access control and has been a security professional and a manager with a wealth of international experience. He has over 20 years of experience, especially in the security arena, with competencies across business development, business to business, and business to consumer negotiations, as well as project management and corporate consultancy. But as always, we'd like to keep this session as interactive as possible. So if you have any questions for our panelists, please do add them to the question pane. We will be taking questions at the end of the session, and I will certainly try my best to cover as many as possible. But without further ado, it's my honor to pass over to our first speaker, Hadi Rayess. Hadi, over to you, please.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everybody, for making it here today. We're going to try to make this as useful as possible for your time. So I'm going to be sharing my screen over here, and we'll start up with a quick PowerPoint on Eagle Eye Networks. All right. So who's Eagle Eye Networks? The company was founded by Dean Draco in 2012, and Dean Draco is basically the former president and CEO for Barracuda Networks. The reason I like to mention this is to give you an insight about the background that the business has in cybersecurity. All of us know Barracuda Networks and what they have done since 25 years. So we have 25 years backup in terms of experience in cybersecurity. Currently, at Eagle Eye Networks, we are number one basically globally when it comes to video surveillance as a service on the cloud. The company is headquartered in Austin, in Texas, and we have offices in Tokyo, Amsterdam, in Colombia, and soon we'll be having an office here in Dubai, and we have customers over 110 countries. Speak a little bit about the solution itself. The Eagle Eye Cloud VMS has no cost for new features, lifetime warranty on the bridges, and the bridges are these boxes that we provide our customers with. So a bridge basically has a LAN port and a WAN port. The LAN port will connect your networks, the WAN port will connect your internet, and then your cameras will be streaming and recording on the internet. There is no service to support, no hard drives to worry about. So which basically makes your business much more streamlined. Currently, Eagle Eye VMS supports all types of cameras. We support analog cameras over the bridges, HD cameras, HD over coax, all types of cameras. Basically, we have around 4,500 cameras that are integrated to our platform. Unlimited resources for future proofing. You know, when you work in a cloud architecture, the sky is the limit, basically, in terms of scalability. The solution will grow with you as your business grows. You can always extend the storage from 30 days to 60 days to 90 days without having to invest in new hardware or lose on the old hardware, just simply by increasing the subscription from 30 days to 90 days. Also, if you want to add analytics, you want to remove analytics, all of that is scalable and can be adjusted accordingly by subscriptions. The VMS is a full-featured VMS. It's built in the cloud and designed to reduce operational cost. If you ever implement cloud video surveillance, you will notice that you're focused to do what you need to do versus then being focused on trying to follow up and troubleshoot and make sure you solve problems and here and there. There is no software to update. The word updates and upgrades do not exist in cloud-based VMS's dictionary, which is a blessing basically, especially if you have multiple locations. So you don't need to dispatch engineers here and there and fly people here and there to make sure they do maintenance and updates and upgrades. The client software is totally Windows, is totally browser-based, and also works Windows and Mac because for sure browser-based. And the reason why we made sure our client to be a browser-based versus a thick client that's installed on your laptop is to be in line with our message, which is we want our solution to be hassle-free. We don't want your team to worry about updating and upgrading clients that are installed on laptops for your loss prevention managers or directors that are distributed around the country or around the globe. So with a browser-based, whenever your team, they put in the credentials and they log in, they immediately have the latest and the greatest. For sure, when it comes to mobile apps, we support iOS and Android. So to speak a little bit more and deeper about the technology itself, as mentioned, the Eagle-Eye VMS uses something that we call a bridge. We also have another solution under the Eagle-Eye Cloud VMS, something we call the CMVR, which is Cloud Managed Video Recorder. And a CMVR is the same thing, is exactly the same thing like the bridge. It's managed by the cloud, but it records on-premise. So for all applications or scenarios where your customers have poor connectivity, we always recommend using a CMVR. So it's still managed by the cloud, it's always updated. You don't have to worry about updates and upgrades, but then you don't have to stream the bulky data to the cloud and you just keep it on premise. Same thing, CMVR or bridge, you can always add intelligent analytics and it's ideal for multi-sites. We have another solution in Eagle-Eye Networks. It's called Eagle-Eye Camera Manager. And the Eagle-Eye Camera Manager is a solution for smaller applications where basically you don't need a bridge. And you will use Eagle-Eye cameras basically to stream directly to the cloud. So you don't need a bridge, your cameras will stream directly to the cloud. And there's always an SD card inside the camera to as a backup. There's an internet disconnection. And then we have the Eagle-Eye Contract Vault, which is a solution that we basically provide for long-term retention. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, mainly for financial and legal use. And then we have the Eagle-Eye Cloud Replication. And this is a solution to augment the existing data with on-premise and cloud at the same time. On-premise to satisfy regulatory requirements and on cloud for the business operations itself. Over here, we see the topology and how the system works basically. So as you can see here, we have 5 locations. The first location has a mix of analog and IP cameras connected to a bridge, encrypted and streaming to the cloud. IP cameras on a CMVR and streaming to the cloud. IP cameras and body-worn cameras, also the body-worn cameras are backing up to the cloud. And over here, we have a mobile bridge basically, with the cameras also streaming to the cloud. And in the site number 5 here, also we have local control room with a video wall and spot monitors and so on. Also integration with third-party analytics and of course with the SALTO KS access control system. And as you can see, our cloud over here, we do analytics and artificial intelligence, and also we integrate with third-party artificial intelligence through our API. And then for sure, to log into the system, you have multiple options, the normal users from mobile app or a desktop, or from a command center, or from alarm monitoring such as SureView, Sentinel, Mastermind, Bold, and so on. These are our data centers globally. And at Eagle Eye, we always work with our own data centers. We don't outsource to third-party data centers. The beauty with cloud-based video surveillance as a service is the growth, basically. And as you can see in this slide over here, the business has doubled size year over year, and we have been the fastest growing technology company in video surveillance in 2019 and 2020. You know, they always say 1 + 1 = 2, but in cloud-based video surveillance, 1 + 1 = 3. And that's really noticed in terms of the growth, because you always accumulate your income year after year after year after year in terms of subscriptions with your customers. And then you start to grow exponentially. Currently, at Eagle Eye Networks, we're basically the biggest VSaaS provider in the world, and we currently sit at close to 20% market share from the video surveillance as a service globally. Over here, we show a list of our integrations, also SALTO access control. And finally, to speak a little bit about the cloud here, Eagle Eye VMS I always see Eagle Eye VMS as the true cloud video surveillance provider globally. And that's for a very simple reason. Our software was built from the ground up based on cloud. We're not like other VMSs where we started with on-premise and then we tried to switch and tweak and so on to support cloud and so on. You're going to see in the little demo that I'm going to show you after this PowerPoint how the software is really designed and built for cloud-based video surveillance as a service. Also, Eagle Eye Networks team and executives are coming from long-standing experience in cloud-based video surveillance and cybersecurity. Rishi Lodhia, our EMEA managing director, is the first person ever to develop a cloud-based video surveillance 12 years back. And we spoke about Dean Draco and the experience that he brings into the business in terms of cybersecurity. Also, you'll see in the brief demo that I'm going to give you after this presentation how the software is really engineered and built on RMR, run rate monthly revenue, subscription-based architecture, and VSaaS. Also, seamless open architecture in terms of integration, for sure the subject of this presentation here with SALTO access control and other third-party artificial intelligence and also alarm monitoring software and so on. With that said, I'm just gonna jump quickly here to a brief demo on Eagle Eye VMS, and I'll try to stick to my time slot as much as possible over here. So as you can see here from single point, I'm connected to several cameras from the US, from Amsterdam, Argentina, and Singapore. I'm logging into this all the way here from Dubai. And then I can very simply go to my dashboard over here, and then I'm accessing all the data of these cameras and subscriptions. So for example, if we click on this one over here, the Capital Factory in Austin, Texas, I can go into the settings of this bridge over there. And what you see over here is the capability and how I'm able, this is actually a CMVR. Actually, you can't even tell the difference between a bridge and a CMVR from the user perspective. They are the same, it's just that the CMVR has more hard drives in it. So in here, as you can see, I can manage and control how I want my data to be backed up to the cloud. I can set it up as fixed or percentage of the available throughput or minimum throughput. All of these settings can be controlled on how and when you want to stream your data from the bridge to the cloud. Location, we are integrated with Google Live. We'll see that later on also in more details. And the metrics, which is, in my opinion, the most important part of a cloud VMS, basically. And these metrics over here show you exactly how your data is being managed and streamed to the cloud. So here you see how much data there is in your CMVR and how much free available space there is in your CMVR. And this kind of like tells you that you have enough throughput to back up all your data to the cloud, that you don't have issues as long as this throughput is concerned. Over here, this is the Delta storage. And this one tells you how much data you have backed up to the cloud and how much data you still have on your bridge. And this one here shows you the camera to cloud bandwidth. You can break it down per camera, and you can see how much each and every camera is consuming. You can also see in terms of the time when your cameras are peaking up in terms of throughput and bandwidth consumption. This gives you an idea about the operations, your operations, and so on. And then you know how to manage your backup to the cloud and so on. Also, the camera storage over here. And again, the delta in terms of the camera storage. All of these features that you just saw in the dashboard over here gives you the proof that this VMS is designed especially for cloud applications. And it's not just a normal VMS where it was tweaked to work on cloud like our competitors would do. Again, here, a local display where you can connect the display to your bridge and so on. You can put some notes and so on. So then again, I can go to the locations of the cameras on my CMVR. This is very useful interface in case you have some global offices and so on. So as you can see here, you can go to each CMVR and see the physical location of that CMVR. And as you can see, also the user interface is very easy. As I always say, it's so easy, even a salesman can do it. So then layouts, we've seen that also. We've grouped them over here in terms of locations and so on. Also the tags, analog cameras, Amsterdam, vehicle bay, lobby. You can basically tags or groups of cameras that will concern you. For example, here we're looking at thermal cameras. I think we have also counting cameras somewhere here. I can always go look and put counting. Here are my counting cameras, as you can see, where I'm counting the traffic coming in and out. Also, I've got my map over here, and this is a very interactive user interface, again, for users that have multiple locations. And then I can very simply click, and then because I put the counting features only show me the counting cameras, so I'm going to remove this. So now I'm seeing all the cameras. I can go to my Austin location and zoom in, and very simple. You just click here and you're seeing the camera view from this camera. This is very important in case you have multiple locations and every once in a while you want to do an audit check to make sure that the cameras are still on the same field of view where they're supposed to be. And as you can see, it can be done very easily, very quickly. Again, very good for audit and checking where the cameras are located and they haven't been changed and so on. User settings, also in terms of users that can access the system, and I can go over here, I can change the privileges of the users and so on, permissions, change the permissions, what they can do, what they cannot do. Every user basically can be given certain permissions, also the layouts here for you and the locations and all the details that you can have in a normal VMS. We've all put it in this cloud-based VMS. Archive, also here you can see what you have archived in terms of videos and what you have downloaded. You can always also download them off of your cloud to your desktop and so on. Well, this is my presentation to you today, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how my time is, but I'll switch it over to Victor over here. Victor, the field is yours. You're on mute.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Victor from SALTO Systems. I'll try to also share my screen. Okay, so I hope you all see my screen. We will start with a little bit about the company, the verticals where we are working on, how it works, the benefit, and the connection with Eagle Eye. So first of all, about the company, we are relatively a young company. We started the company in the year 2000. When I joined the company in 2004, I was number 33. in fact, and the company was doing something around 8 to 10 million euro turnover. Since that time, okay, we are approximately, just a second, problem with it? Okay, we are approximately 1,250 employees. We have over 5 million access control installed a little bit everywhere, with 40 million daily user of our access control. The poll. Okay, so as I've said, over 1,000, and we do a turnover of approximately 250 million euro worldwide. We have employees from everywhere, over 27 nationality, and over 32 offices scattered around the world. When we have started the cloud access control, we've partnered with Clay in Holland, and we start from scratch with a native, let's say, cloud application. We didn't take our own space access control on premises and we upgraded it to a cloud system. No, we started from scratch on a new basis with a new DNA, let's say. And all of those access control that we had in SALTO, the hardware, okay, the different type of locks and wall readers and controllers would be connected to the cloud. And we are proud to say also that we are the first cloud access control company in the world, as in May last year, we've hit the 100,000 cloud access control directly on the cloud. Now, where can we use the cloud access control? SALTO is already in different verticals, for example, in education, in transport, commercial, with very high-end references like Princeton University, Oxford University, transport like Heathrow Airport, Terminal 3 and 4 and 5 are completely secured by SALTO. In commercial like T-Mobile, we also work a lot with government. If you are from the Middle East, we work with the Ministry of Interior in the UAE, Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Saudi, the French Parliament that we can see here, Cleveland Clinic in the healthcare, and of course a lot in the hospitality industry. We have concentrated since the beginning for the cloud access control on SMEs, small and medium businesses, where it's very easy. It fits perfectly their needs. So no need for backups, no need for servers, or training. You don't have to spend half a day. You can access your access control or manage your users directly from any location. You don't have to be on the premises and have one technician there. So the SMEs was what we have targeted in the beginning, and then we are very much successful also in retail, banks, co-working, co-living, etc. One important thing for me is the one that is in the middle here, banks. Because I'm sure a question will come, how secure is your cloud? How secure is your access control when it is not on premises, but it is on the cloud? So those references, we will not talk about it because we will always tell you, oh, don't worry, it is very much secure. Of course it is. But those banks like HSBC, like the Kucha Bank, like BBVA Bank, have tested our product. It is installed there in many, many locations scattered over the countries, and it is working fine. So this would be about the companies and the vertical, okay? Of course, we can add other verticals to those, as we are not limited. Now, how it works? It is very easy. As I've said, it is a native cloud system that you can access with your credential whenever you have internet, from a tablet, a mobile phone, or your computer. So this would be the software sitting on the cloud. And then we would have our access control on the doors. It can be a normal escutcheon, an electronic cylinder, a glass door lock, a panic device, any type of access control, a parking barrier, indoor, outdoor, different standards, UL, American, ANSI standard, European, UK, the BS standard, etc. So you will have your access control sitting in your premises. And how do we connect them to the cloud? Through a bridge, what we call the IQ, where this is what is the brain or the link between our cloud-based software and the access control. And the beauty of it is not that we will continue also with the conventional access control using tags or cards, okay? Of course, as you can see, you can use the tags, okay? We have different mode of opening. We will talk about 4 of them. So for example, if we use the tag, those are my keys. I have my key for my house in Dubai, my house in France, and the office in Dubai here, and my car key that I could not replace, but no mechanical key at all. So we can use the tag or the card. We can also use a mobile key. Using a mobile key, that means on your phone, you will have a small widget. You present it to the lock and you open, okay, through Bluetooth, BLE. Another way of opening is with your application. So with your application, then you will have full control of the different premises that you have, and you can perform a remote opening from your phone. For example, someone is calling me through the intercom at home. I can see who is calling me with the camera of Eagle Eye, and then I decide to open or not to open remotely. And we'll talk also about other benefits of having the mobile remote opening and mobile application. In addition to this, we will have the PIN. As some of our locks or wall readers can have a combination of reader and a PIN, I can give a PIN code to anybody via an SMS or via email. And when he will reach the premises, he would be able to open with his PIN code. The benefit of the system, it would be the same benefit of any cloud. So as Hadi have said it, I will repeat it, and each time you will go to a webinar about cloud, it would be the same. You will need no server, no backup, no redundancy to do. You don't need to have all the infrastructure, the cabling and the wiring, okay? So all of this is removed. The only thing that you have to concentrate on is really how to manage people and doors in your premises in a keyless building. Okay, so it's very flexible. You can access it from anywhere. And one thing that is very important is the reduced total cost of ownership. So as an access control, of course, you will have all the features of the access control. Who have access to where, when, and how, which credential he have used, if it was a PIN code or a tag, or he opened with his mobile key. Okay, so this is something that you can manage from the application on the cloud or on with your mobile phone. You can track people. Okay, for example, if you have an alarm happening on a door, if the door is left open, you can set it up on the web and say, I would like to receive an SMS or an email, or on the application receive a notification that the door is left open or someone have tried to enter or entered to the premises outside of the hours. Okay, everything can be seen live, as it is wireless locks that we're talking about. Okay, every movement that is happening, you will see it live for the users and also the doors. So if the door is open, if the door is left open, if there is an intrusion, you will always see it also live on the tablet, or on the web, or on your phone. Okay, from the web application, you can create the user, put the photo of the user, give them different type of access, entering from one place to another one, from this time to that time. For example, you can do scheduling from the web application, and from the mobile phone, you would be able also to block user or not. So if you are in the office and you have a problem at home and you would like to block, I don't know, the gardener for entering your house, or in a co-living environment, someone who didn't pay, for example, the rent, you can automatically block him from your mobile. You don't need always to access the web portal. Okay, so how does it connect? I'll show you a small video, okay, with no sound, of course, but it is a video with the integration between Eagle Eye and SALTO. Of course, everything was done through the APIs. Second. Oh, the video don't want to play. Do you see the video, Hadi? Okay, so this is a small video. I couldn't take it from the presentation. I'm doing it live now. So here you have the locks. You can see different type of locks. We can see, for example, Wouter du Toit that is in South Africa. We have here, for example, two integration, one with Comelit, which is a doorbell system, okay, and Eagle Eye. So we can have different integration on the same platform. And then we will see all the different cameras that we have. Here we have an Axis or a Hikvision camera. We can switch also and see this is a training room in Dubai. We will see also this is a training room or the meeting room in South Africa that has a Panasonic dome camera. Okay, just to show you the different type of cameras that we can integrate. We don't integrate it, is Eagle Eye who does it. So we can pick up which camera we want to see or that we want to link to a specific door. So whenever I have an event happening on the door, I would like to see this camera or also multiple cameras, okay, for one door. Why? Because you could have eventually different angles going to the camera. I'm showing you this again. Why? Because of course you have to be you must have the subscription on Eagle Eye. Okay, it's not only having it on SALTO. You should have the subscription from both companies, Eagle Eye and also SALTO. So here we go back to the doors that we have, and if I have to open a door, just before opening a door, I can see what is happening in the camera. And by default, we have put a setup of 5 seconds before the event and 5 seconds after the event. Okay, so when you open a door, you can automatically open a door, or with your mobile, for example, you can choose to put your fingerprint. Okay, so you can press unlock, present your finger to your phone. So it's sort of a dual authentication, and then you would be able to open. And as we can see here, the first log that Wouter du Toit have opened the door. And we can see also the video, okay, that he's performing a remote opening. As we can see here, it is a remote opening. He's not opening with his tag or not with his mobile phone, directly opening through BLE, and he enters, okay? So we will always have the 5 seconds prior and 5 seconds after the event. Going back now, we can see the events, and we will be able to also see a little bit about the users. This is the mobile application that you have, and if you go, you can invite the user to come. You can create polls, okay, and invite people, or you can also block people. So if you have someone, as the example I gave you before, one of your tenants who didn't pay his rent, you fired one of your employees, it's very easy. You can do it also from your mobile phone. You go to the person and you block him. And if he tries to open, you will automatically see that the person was blocked. Another thing about the PIN codes, you can see that here we don't have any PIN code already set up, okay? But you would be able to give or a remote opening or opening with a PIN code, etc. Okay, I think that now we're looking at Wouter here. Okay. And you can assign a pin to a user. Okay, that's it for my presentation. So I suppose that now Daniel will take over for the Q&A.
Thank you, Victor, and thank you, Hadi, for both of your presentations. We've, as always, guys, everyone on the line, please do send in the questions to the question pane. We've got one coming already, which is something that I'm particularly interested in as well. And the question is are there any conditions needed to enable in order to connect the Eagle-Eye networks infrastructure with that of SALTO KS? And that's an open question to you both. I'll probably go to Victor first, perhaps. What's your opinion on that? You're on mute again.
Sorry. No, in fact, from our side, you don't require anything as long as you have your subscription on the SALTO KS and you have your subscription also on Eagle-Eye. When you will open the application of SALTO KS, okay, it will automatically connect. Just a second, I could eventually show it to you. Sorry, I'm logged off. So it is very easy whenever you have your credentials that are here and you have down the Eagle-Eye. If you have the subscription on both, you come to SALTO and you only have to enter your credentials and you will have all the cameras that you have on your premises that will automatically come to the SALTO application.
Okay, perfect. So it sounds like it's relatively straightforward to access both organizations and then the combined infrastructure as well. Perfect. Hadi, I've got a question for you here, and it's around the level of security of the encryption for video data. It's something that a lot of the organizations are, I guess, concerned about, because in many cases, this video surveillance will be monitoring kind of high-profile areas, very sensitive information. So, what is the level of security for Eagle-Eye networks?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very good question, Dan. You know, always people like this, when they believe, you tell them, hey, we're going cloud, they're like, hey, what about data security? As a matter of fact, let's talk about it first. Whenever you're talking cloud, data centers spend millions and millions and millions of dollars in investing in a proper firewall to secure their data. But if you're putting your NVR at the back office in your hotel room, basically, you know, a kid can hack into it. So there is definitely much, much higher level of security once you put your data on the cloud than if you're putting it on premise, number one. Then in terms of the encryption level, we use the TVL 1.2, which is global, very well known encryption standard for data. And we encrypt our data in transit and on rest as well. So even if someone for one reason or the other was able to get his hand on the data, it's just ones and zeros and they can't do nothing with it. The bridge plays a very important role in terms of being a firewall. And this all comes back from our experience that we inherited from Barracuda Networks as a proof of our strong strength in providing a legitimate firewall.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. And a kind of follow-up question there regarding bandwidth. What type of bandwidth and what kind of level of bandwidth is required to stream this data to the cloud in the first place?
Okay, so for sure, I mean, many factors can affect the bandwidth and the throughput, which is the resolution of the camera and so on. But the key element in the Eagle-Eye Networks bridge is that it's basically like a buffer, you know, so it doesn't matter how much data you need to send, it's all gonna go to the cloud, whatever your throughput you have. Because what we do, we send serial packets through the internet to the data center. So if you have lots of data that you need to send, it still will go, but it's gonna take longer time to be uploaded to the cloud. And this is why we have seen in the demo, we have dashboards that show you how much data you have inside the bridge itself. So with that, you'll be able to gauge how much data you're streaming to the cloud and if you're over dumping data into the bridge or not.
Okay, perfect. We've got a follow-up question on on the first question that we asked around requirements and infrastructure. And one of our audience members has asked, what is the infrastructure requirement to set up Eagle-Eye or SALTO KS? Is there any live IP or static IP requirements?
For Eagle-Eye networks, you don't need that at all. Just any IP, basically.
Same. We don't need anything. Everything is done on the cloud. It's only entering your credentials, in fact, and it will automatically connect.
Okay, perfect. I've got a question for you, Victor, as well. It's kind of the age-old question now around kind of wireless access versus kind of physical hardwired solutions. And my question here is we've seen kind of all the kind of benefits there, the remote access, the kind of scalability of it. But are there any risks associated with wireless access, and how do you overcome them?
No risk at all. The benefit of the wireless access control, or what we call also the standalone access control, is first of all ease of installation. Okay, you don't have to cable and wire and pull cables everywhere. Okay, and the price, because if you take, for example, an online door, it will cost you around 1,000. Okay, when we say 1,000, can be $1,000, euro, yen, one, whatever you want. When we go to a standalone lock, battery operated, wireless, it will cost you half of it. In terms of installation, in order to install an online door with the maglock, adjust the maglock, pull the cables, it will be around 4 hours. And standalone locks on the door will take you, depending if it is an electronic cylinder, just replacing the cylinder within 2 minutes. Or if you have to drill the door, for example, which is going to be a little bit more complicated, it is something between 15 minutes to half an hour. In terms of security, it is double layers of security all the time. We are using Bluetooth connections from the locks to the IQ. Okay, it is very much secure. It's an AES-256, so the Bluetooth AES-128 plus our dual authentication above it. And it is, when it comes to security, the best proof, better than all the documents that we have and the ISOs, the different certificate that we have, are the trust of our clients. We are not only installing it in small offices where security is not very important. The clients that we have, ministries, government, military, police, this for us is the biggest guarantee of the security, and we never had any issues with any of our clients. Some of our clients even ask us to have go to their lab, install our access control, give them full control of the software and everything, and after few months later, they will tell us, okay, it is approved or not. And this is what happened with Heathrow Airport and others, where sometimes they send what they call ethical hackers to us in order to check the system and its security.
Excellent. I'd like to just touch upon one of the points you made at the very beginning there around kind of models, subscriptions, prices, and things like that. How does that subscription model work in SALTO?
It's very easy, straightforward, okay? Depending on the number of users, we've done some packages, okay? So 10 users, 50 users, 100 users, 500 users, whatever, you will pay an annual subscription. That is combined with also the number of IQs that you have, okay? So it is the combination between the number of IQs, number of users, and it's going to be an annual subscription.
Okay, perfect.
And you will get all the features. We don't tell you, oh, you want this feature, it's an extra $1. This feature is $5. Full-fledged service. It's only by users, combination between users and IQs.
Okay, excellent. I have an open question for you both, and it's really something I'm interested in as well, because what I've found historically with surveillance, security, it's quite challenging to calculate a return on that investment, because a lot of people just look at it as avoiding incidents. I'd like to get your perspectives on the benefits of this kind of technology, the wider benefits to the business. Do you have any perspectives on that?
I'll start, Hadi. It's okay?
You go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I'll talk about the company, SALTO Systems. What we do is access control. We don't have only the conventional access control, which is the wall reader and controllers. As you said in the beginning, you're coming back to my previous question. We have standalone wireless access control, battery operated. So here, if we compare it to any other type of access control, you will have a less apex price. Okay, and after those are all the advantages of the cloud. Okay, the advantages of the cloud, we've said it, we can say it again. I'll give 2 or 3 examples, and then Hadi can give probably more examples. No servers, no IT, very easy to use. That means training on our KS system is half a day. If you go to our on-premises software, you need 2 days of training in order to master the entire system. Where for the cloud, we've really made it the minimum. Okay, so a half a day maximum. Okay, and if you have a small office, it's probably within half an hour. Okay, the training is done. You have different backups, so we have different backups. You don't have to do them. You don't have to hire an IT person. You have a redundancy by default, where you know that on premises a redundancy will cost you an arm and a leg. Where here it is by default in the subscription.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like what Victor said. You don't have to have the headache and the hassle to worry about having servers to support, hard drive failures. With the cloud, everything's basically centralized. Our engineers and technicians from their mobiles, they can basically access, support anything, anywhere. In the pandemic, this has worked out very well for us because people didn't have the capability to travel, and with the cloud, because everything is so centralized, you'll be able to solve any problem basically seamlessly. The thing with the cloud is, we were talking about this yesterday. It's not like you want to go cloud or you don't want to go cloud. I think the question is, you want to go cloud now or you want to go cloud later? And if you go cloud now, you're going to get the share from the market.
Yeah, excellent.
I would like just to add one thing, power consumption. This is, everybody's talking about green and going. Power consumption, you don't have the servers locally. Of course, you will have, in the data center, you will have the consumption, okay? But instead of having 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, it is all in one, okay? So the power consumption also will reduce for people who are very keen on green and environmental.
Yeah, perfect. Hadi, I'd like to ask you a question. During your presentation, you mentioned something like 4,000 different cameras. Are there kind of existing cameras that organizations can use that are compatible with your infrastructure, or is it a kind of massive overhaul? How does that work?
Pretty much all the well-known names, Axis, Hikvision, Dawa, Bosch, Avigilon, pretty much any camera out there, Vivotech, WatchNet, and the list goes on and on and on. And most importantly, even if there's a camera that's not supported, we can always pick up RTSP streams.
Yep.
And if that's also not an option, we can always add that camera to the integration list, and we can develop the integration very easily and add the camera to the list.
Yeah, well, I think personally, I think that's a great thing to do. And just looking at the list of organizations, multinationals, SMEs, government departments that already use both of your products, it sounds like a no-brainer to me to invest in something like this.
To add one point on this, Dan, I mean, there have always been worries in the market from going with the Chinese-made cameras like the Hikvision and the Dawas and so on. because they say malware and so on. So when you invest with Eagle Eye Networks, you don't have to worry about that because we have something called the camera lockdown. So your bridge becomes a firewall. So it doesn't matter basically what your camera does. It's totally isolated from your cloud. So you don't need basically to go spend the money in expensive cameras. For us, the camera is just a device that streams video, and it's totally blocked from your cloud in terms of sending packets.
Okay, excellent. I have just one other question here around kind of the semantics, really, around the cloud infrastructure that you're using, the kind of data centers as well. And do you back up the data to multiple data centers, or just is there kind of a single point that you back up to?
So from Eagle Eye perspective, we always record the data 3 times. So we triplicate the recording. So in case there's ever a hardware failure, so we always offer triplication in terms of recording.
Same in Salto. We cannot rely on only one data center. So it's going to be multiple data centers and multiple backup. And of course, the redundancy. So normally a client will not feel if there is a cut between one data center and another, or
Okay.
shifting the backup.
Okay, excellent. And one question here finally that's just come in, Hadi, is does your VMS require a secure private VPN at all?
Not at all. And again, this is another big advantage where these VPNs are very costly and they cost lots of money. Like I think some gentleman asked us earlier, the very normal dynamic IP to your home, to your organization will do. It's been very rare that we have people go and upgrade their connectivity because they're going cloud. Most of the times, with a small camera count, we can use, the normal connectivity that you get from your providers. Yeah.
Excellent. We've had a question just come in from one of the audience here, and it's around like door forced open in some organizations. Do users and those with the applications get automatic live kind of a feed or notification in case of any alarm triggers, any doors being forced open? How does that work?
It works perfectly, to be honest. Yes, of course. This is essential of access control. Okay, if you cannot know if the door is open or closed or whatever, that means, but don't do access control. So by default, when you set up the system, as I've said in the beginning, okay, you can say, okay, if the door is left open, you set up your list of alarms, okay, and you say, how do you want to receive them? You have 3 ways of receiving them. It can be either by an SMS or by an email or on the application. Even if you leave your door open, for example, because it is your office and in the morning you leave it open, okay, what we call an office mode, okay, you can receive also this notification that your door is left open. If the door is forced open, automatically also you will receive the notification. Some notifications you can only, I want to receive them by SMS or only by email or only by on the application, or the 3 of them, okay? And you can also set up the timing, okay? Having a door left open, like in my office during daytime, I don't receive any notification. But if my door is left open after 7 p.m., I will automatically receive a notification. All of this is configurable in the software.
Okay, perfect. So it's fairly flexible.
Very flexible.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I haven't seen any more questions come in from the panelists. We've got about 5 minutes left. So what I'd like to do at this stage is hand over to you both, maybe just a 30-second summary of the capabilities and the functionalities, and just to close the conversation here. So Hadi, as you presented first, I'd like to just get 30 seconds, a summary of your kind of product, the functionality and capabilities.
Sure, definitely, yeah. So yeah, Eagle Eye Networks, a global leader in cloud-based video surveillance and artificial intelligence. This is not the future, this is the present. Work with us, jump on this bandwagon. You want to be the leaders to gain market share because 5 years from now, servers are going to become part of the history. So come on, join us. Let's get this bandwagon sailing. Cheers.
Thank you. And Victor?
Approximately the same. No, I would like to jump on a quote that Hadi have said. That means, yes, cloud, if it is, it's not, are you going to the cloud, or it is when, in fact. We've been trying to promote cloud as much as we can. I remember in different exhibitions that we have done, and in 2012, when we have started, okay, nobody was talking about cloud. Whenever we said cloud, it's like, oh, are you sure security? They hacked the Pentagon, and they're not going to be able to hack your system. Of course, security has improved and will improve more and more and more and more. And it is a question of when. Cloud would be the future. Everybody's saying, no, I don't want to touch cloud. If someone doesn't have a cloud application, throw me the first stone. We all have mobile phones, okay? We are all using all the applications that are on our mobile phone. Everything is cloud, okay? Without cloud now, we go back to, I loved BlackBerry, okay? But we go back to BlackBerry and the old Nokias, etc. Cloud is the future. If you're not going to do it now, you're going to lose time. It's going to cost you more money, and but you will going to do it after. Plus, another trend that is coming into the market is I don't owe anything anymore. I pay a subscription. People are saying, for example, no, it's going to cost me every month the Netflix and the Spotify and my wireless in the office. Yes, and tomorrow you will not own a car, probably. You'll pay a subscription to have a car. You'll pay a subscription for everything, and you will be able to manage everything that you have. So this is the trend, okay? And everybody's saying the train is coming. Jump on the train now, because at one point of time, you will have to jump on the train.
Absolutely. Thank you both for your summaries. I think the world is digitizing at a rapid pace, and this is just another inevitable next step for access control, and underpinning that is cloud infrastructures. So I'd like to thank you both, Hadi and Victor, for both your presentations and introducing the audience to this integration. I myself am very excited by this potential system here, and I'd like to thank all of the audience for dialing in and listening. As always, please feel free to reach out to Victor or Hadi on LinkedIn, and please do explore both SALTO Systems and Eagle Eye Networks websites to learn a bit more about their products and services. Thank you everyone for joining this Security Middle East webinar, and we hope to see you very, very soon. So Victor, Hadi, thank you very much for your time, and audience,
thanks, Daniel,
for listening.
Hadi.
Cheers.